Punk rock never dies, but punks do. Anarchy Airwaves presents Punk Combat, the Misfits versus the Stooges, blood, riffs, and mayhem. Tonight on Anarchy Airwaves, the ultimate battle for punk rock supremacy. The horror-fueled Misfits versus the primal, untamed Stooges. They came to shred. They came to kill. And by the end of this, only one band will be left standing. This is Punk Combat. Round 1. Fight. Fight 1. Iggy Pop versus Glenn Danzig, a rotting drive-in movie theater. The Plan 9 from outer space VHS glows on an ancient projector. Iggy Pop, shirtless and grinning, rolls his neck. Across from him, Glenn Danzig looms, dark energy radiating from his body. Danzig growling, "Iggy, you don't stand a chance. I am more than just a man. I am a nightmare, forged in horror, fueled by the power of the damned." Iggy, "Oh yeah? Well, you sure talk like a comic book villain." Danzig, "You wouldn't understand. You're just a filthy, drug-ridden, shirtless maniac." Iggy, "Damn right. And that's what makes me more punk than you." Danzig lunges, throwing a massive punch. Iggy ducks, slamming a knee into Danzig's ribs, sending him stumbling backward. Iggy, "Come on, Glenn. Use your dark powers or whatever. Or are you just gonna mope about it?" Danzig screams, "You will die." Danzig swings a haymaker, but Iggy dodges and drop-kicks him into the projector. Sparks fly as the VHS tape teeters on the edge of the machine. Iggy, "Why grabbing the VHS, holding it up, you get all your powers from this, huh? Kinda lame." Danzig starts desperate, reaching out, and oh, without that, I am nothing. Iggy, "Then let's see what happens when it's gone." Iggy slams the VHS to the ground and stomps it into dust. Danzig's body convulses, his muscles shrinking, his skin peeling away like burning paper. Danzig, "Oh." With a final agonized cry, he explodes into a cloud of ashes, his skull landing in the dirt. Iggy picking up the skull, smirking, "Punk rock ain't about being a goth wizard, Glenn. It's about being too wild to die." He tosses the skull into a trash can labeled B-movies only. Danzig is destroyed. Fight 2. Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein versus Ron Ashton, a bloodstained stage, surrounded by amps set to max volume. Doyle stands like a beast, gripping his devil-horned guitar. Ron Ashton, looking half-crazed, grips his guitar like a weapon. "Ron, you know, I always figured horror punk was just a gimmick." Doyle, "You're about to find out it ain't." Ron, "Oh yeah? Let's turn this up to 11. Ron strums his guitar with insane force. A blast of distorted sound erupts, sending Doyle flying backward. Doyle growling, shaking it off, "Not bad, but I like my riffs with a little more bite." Doyle charges, swinging his guitar like a battle axe. Ron barely dodges, rolling across the stage. Ron, "Damn, dude. What are you benching, 500? Doyle, "Enough to crush you." Doyle grabs Ron by the throat, lifting him off the ground. Ron, "Gee, got a lot of grip strength there, buddy." Doyle, "Time to snap, crackle, and pop." Doyle crushes Ron's throat like a soda can, then slams his lifeless body into the drum kit. Blood splatters across the cymbals. Jerry Only versus Iggy Pop, a ruined Misfits graveyard stage. Jerry Only, bloodied but unbroken, stands over Doyle's lifeless body. Iggy Pop, grinning despite his wounds, spits out a tooth. Iggy, "Damn, Jerry. You still got some fight in you." Jerry Only snarling, "I was born for this, Iggy. And I'm finishing it." They charge each other, fists flying. Iggy slams a knee into Jerry's gut, but Jerry counters with a massive headbutt. Iggy stumbling, "Oof, okay, that one hurt." Jerry starts breathing heavy. "You never knew when to quit, did you?" Iggy starts laughing, wiping blood from his mouth. "Neither did you, man." They lock eyes for a moment. Then Jerry Only grabs Iggy by the hair and slams his head into his spiked vest. Blood gushes from Iggy's skull. Jerry, "This is for Doyle." With a final, brutal wrench, Jerry rips Iggy's head off and impales it on a mic stand. Iggy Pop is executed. The battlefield is silent. The echoes of carnage have faded, leaving only the wreckage of a war fought with guitars, fists, and pure punk fury. The camera pans through the bodies of fallen legends. The Misfits and the Stooges lay scattered like discarded records after a riot. The air is thick with mist and the distant hum of feedback from a half-broken amp. Jerry, only bloodied and bruised, kneels beside Doyle's lifeless body. His brother, his bandmate, his family. He places a hand on Doyle's chest, staring down at the fallen giant. Jerry only's voice filled with pain and pride. Doyle. It was never about the makeup. Never about the spikes, the devil locks, the screaming fans. It was always just us, two brothers with busted-up guitars, writing songs about monsters and madness, because that's what made us feel alive. Punk rock was never about record deals, never about who's the real Misfits or who sold out first. It was the sound of rebellion in a basement, the smell of sweat in a crammed venue, the blood on our fingers after playing too hard. It was you and me, man, standing side by side, louder than the world around us. He grips Doyle's hand, then slowly lifts his brother's massive frame onto his back, carrying him through the fog. Every step is heavy. Every step is final. Misfits forever. Doyle, family forever. As he disappears into the darkness, the camera lingers on the battlefield. Blood pools around broken guitars. Torn leather jackets hang off shattered amps. The Stooges are gone. The Misfits are broken. But the legacy, the chaos, the music will never die. And there you have it. The Misfits, the Stooges, the blood, the riffs, the fury. This wasn't just a fight. It was a funeral, a war, a goddamn opera of violence and noise. And in the end, one man walked away, carrying the last notes of a song that started in a basement decades ago. Punk rock was never about winning. It was about being too wild to quit, too raw to be contained, too alive to be tamed. Some bands play for fame, some play for money, but the real ones play for the love of it. Tonight, Jerry only walked off that battlefield knowing the truth, that punk rock isn't about who screams the loudest. It's about who you stand beside when the world burns. And that is why the Misfits were never just a band. This has been Anarchy Airwaves. The music never dies, but the legends, they go out screaming.
Anarchy Airwaves is a wild, high-energy radio show that brings the chaos and intensity of punk rock to the airwaves.